All right, welcome back, everyone. I've got Benjamin Dehant here with us, and he is going to be helping me understand the basics of NFTs. And we actually just shot another video that you should go check out on his page, where he's helping me actually put up a collection for my other YouTube channel. But thank you so much for joining us, Benjamin. How you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks, James. Glad to be here with you today.
Appreciate it. Well, you are. I know we've talked a little bit on LinkedIn. We both kind of got into cryptocurrency a bit, and then you started your NFT channel. Kind of actually inspired me for mine here, and wanted to bring you on and have you help us out as the XRPL is getting NFTs added to it. It's a little bit different, and I wanted to explore some of the terminology for NFTs as like help people that are on the XRPL get used to it if maybe they're not used to it yet. And as you're the NFT expert, go check out his channel. I believe it's primarily in French, but some of you that may work, so go check it out. And but yeah, the video we did is in English though, of course, because I don't speak French, unfortunately. So but yes, I would love to just have you help me out here. So, for anyone who's trying to pick up NFTs, what are some of the basic terms that they need to know?
So it's actually a good question. We should start with the basics about NFTs. Probably your audience knows a bit, I guess, about crypto, and if they're into XRP, they know about that, blockchain. But specifically to NFT, first there is NFT, I would say. This stands for non-fungible token, and probably people knows what non-fungible token, this expression, but basically it means that it's just a unique asset. Every NFT is a unique asset. This is the core part, I would say, about NFT. Like fungible token is like XRP, Bitcoin, or whatsoever. These coins are fungible because you can one Bitcoin equal one Bitcoin, for example. So they are fungible. You can kind of exchange them. They are the same. Whereas NFT, non-fungible token, there is not one NFT exactly equal to another one. There will be always something different. It can be, of course, the picture, the asset. It can be in the metadata, the whatsoever. There is something different. So each NFT is kind of unique in its own way. So that's the core concept, I would say, about NFT. The uniqueness aspect. Of course, you can have copy, you can do that kind of stuff, but there will always be something different. So if you pay attention, you can spot the difference and knows if it's a real NFT or fake NFT or copy. That's the main part. The second part, you are probably a bit more aware of. It's the smart contract aspect.
Mm-hmm.
That's everything that happens when you mint the NFT, when you sell the NFT to someone else. That's what is kind of registered and linked to the visual part of the NFT. That's the two core concepts, I would say, the visual aspect, like art or whatsoever,
Mm-hmm.
the uniqueness, and the smart contract, what is registered and what happens with this NFT.
Gotcha.
I guess that's the two core concept for the NFT.
Okay. So I know that like for instance, there's a lot of different airdrops on the XRP ledger that I'm constantly trying to figure out how to manage and research projects and what have you. But there's what's called drops, and I want to make sure we covered those in NFTs. Can you explain a little bit about drops and how they work generally?
Yeah, so drop is a bit of the generic word for when you launch a project. There's a drop, like your NFT collection is being released. And we discussed a bit about it in the previous video, but you have two ways basically of having a drop. And we will cover also airdrop in a second. But so drop, either you create NFTs. So let's say you create a little collection of NFTs. You are going to work on your visual. Maybe you have 10 different visual for 10 different NFTs.
Okay.
This is one part. Maybe you want to think about the smart contract metadata. What would happen when people buy and sell? But maybe you don't need. You can just have a visual project, I would say. Still, it would be registered on the blockchain that you choose. And the first time your art and the smart contract, or you don't put anything inside, the first time this is registered on the blockchain, it's called the mint. It's the first time it's registered on the blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key thing to understand. So minting an NFT is the first time it's created, and many drops, not all of them, are based on the mint. So you prepare in advance what is going to to create the NFT, so the asset, maybe what is inside the smart contract. You prepare in advance, but it's not yet registered on the blockchain. And once someone buy your NFT, it will kind of start the minting process.
Okay.
And so the NFT will be registered on the blockchain, and you will get it on your wallet also if you buy it. This is the first way to make a drop. Second way is you already minted yourself the NFT. So you have the NFT in your own wallet, you, the creator, and you sell them, but they are already created. You just sell them. That's basically the two ways to make a drop, an NFT drop. And so I'm not sure what's the best. Usually, in my case, when I make a collection that I want to sell, I make a mint drop. So people who are going to buy my NFTs, it will be the first time the NFTs is created. But for any reason, you can prefer to create them first, to own them, and to sell them during your launch. Mm-hmm. Depending on the blockchain of the project. But yeah, that's the two basic way of making a drop. And an airdrop, usually, it's if you have a project and you want either to reward the owners of your NFT, or you have a new project and you want people to hear about or whatsoever, you do an airdrop. So you would try to get the wallet address of people to send them NFTs. In our case, kind of freely. So you just send the wallet, you airdrop them NFTs to their wallet. So in many projects, they do this for holders. Like maybe you have a project, people bought your NFT, they're into your community. Later on, you make a new project and you want to reward the original holder. So you would airdrop them free NFTs, kind of. So you need to have the information of the wallet of these people, actually, but then you can send them a free NFT, Make an airdrop.
So XLS, the XRP ledger works a little bit differently with NFTs, and so it's really interesting to me because I only knew a little whenever I started. Like I was more into tokenomics, more into the tokens and understanding the mechanics behind them all. But once XRP came out with the XRPL came out with NFTs and the XLS 20D amendment that I think it's on testnet right now, but people are still doing stuff with it, as I'll show here shortly. But I feel like for anyone who's watching this, XRP works a little bit differently with some of these terms. So, for instance, we still have airdrops for NFTs, but actually what we're getting is tokens. We're not getting actual NFTs until we actually exchange those tokens in, and they're minted as NFTs for whatever we want later, which is really interesting to me. Is that similar with other projects, or is that really unique to XRP?
Maybe the way they do it's a bit unique, but for example, when I'm on Cardano, you can airdrop. Of course, you can airdrop coins, but sometimes we airdrop coins that are registered as kind of NFT instead of real coin like you will get differently. So I guess it's a bit at the border. They're exploring probably something in between. Because instead of sending you maybe I don't know, like a 0.001 Bitcoin, they will send you an NFT that consists of a package of coins, for example. I see this on Cardano. It's a different way to make fungible token or coins. It's not really like the coin we are used to have. So maybe that's what they do. Maybe they give something that will allow you to buy NFT, and it's not XRP, it's another coin. If I understand.
So from I'll just share my screen real quick. Yeah. And for this, for example, I'm going to go to XCorgi. So XCorgi is a great example. It's a great little project. Would encourage people to go check it out. So we have what are called trust lines on the XRP ledger, and you use what's called the Zoom or Zum wallet, depending upon how you. Just let me go here to their app real quick. So this is you can get it from the App Store, the Google Play, and inside this, I'm doing a tutorial series right now. If it's on my channel, if you want to check it out, hopefully here in the near future. But you'd set a trust line, and this would open up the Zum app. You would confirm here that you want to set the trust line. You'd scan that with your phone and just kind of hold it up there, and you would set the trust line. And then you could go and exchange or purchase the XCorgi token on the XRPL. And one token, I think it's the minimum is half a token, but you need each project can decide uh, how much of their token you need to mint an NFT. And so this
Hmm.
is really strange to me from, because I just thought I'd just go to OpenSea and mint it. And so I wanted to make sure people understand that this is kind of how you have to set the trust line, you have to purchase the token, and then you have to, well, especially when it's a newer project, then eventually exchanging that token. I was involved in a pre mint for this particular project, and then eventually they're going to give me their in a what they call their multi. Where is it? I think it's on their white paper. Do 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 do. Scrolling down. I should know this by now. But eventually I'll get an NFT that represents, their
Yeah.
multi-asset NFT. So it's going to be like a piece of art, an animation, and in-game metaverse model that's going to be correlated with it. So, but the whole point is that like these airdrops, you get a token, or you eventually have to purchase a token to get an NFT. And so is how just want to understand because this is totally different from other things that I've encountered. And I wanted you to comment on
I think what I
uh
understand now, it's like, for example, if I do a project on Cardano,
uh-huh.
I make an NFT collection and people will pay me with the Cardano token, the ADA. But I
Uh-huh.
think in that case, people are creating project on XRP, but they also create a token for their project and they start by giving you the token of their project that they created. And they ask you to buy their NFT with their token, kind of, I would say. So it's like if you are trying to recreate what happens on most of the blockchain with NFTs, like for example, NFTs on Ethereum, you need Ethereum to buy the NFT. Uh, but I think in that case, they create their own token for their own project, and then they give it to you like airdrop, or you can buy these tokens, of course. And you need these tokens to buy their NFTs, what I understand.
Yeah.
I don't
Perfect.
know if it's a good or bad idea. I have no idea yet about that, but that's how I understand it. Instead of using a classic coin, you use the coin they are creating for their project to buy their NFTs.
Yeah, I think that's to speed up the ledger. It's part of their federated side chains deal. So I think that it's very different from what I've thought about NFTs. And so not only get into NFTs, but then get it into the XRP ledger the way that they do it. Like I love when I first opened a Zoom wallet. I don't know if have you ever opened one yet or a Zoom
This
wallet.
one? No, not yet. This one, no.
Okay,
I didn't
so
buy it.
like at first I found setting trust lines to be kind of and you create the wallet, you put some XRP into your wallet. It takes 10 to open the account, and then or at least right now it does, and then you have whatever the excess over 10 is kind of in your wallet used for gas or whatever you want. Of course, the transaction costs are like 0.00000008 something, but um, or at least at the time of the shooting, and but then you set what's called a trust line, and essentially that gives you access to the token. It's kind of like in MetaMask where you're adding a token, but
Mm.
setting a trust line is kind of that process. But if you get rid of the trust line, your tokens are gone too. So don't do that. As opposed to like MetaMask where you like import your seed phrase,
Mm.
and you have got to re-register all the tokens again. Like that doesn't happen with Zum. Zum, your stuff follows you. Um, but yeah, so this is really interesting and unique way of doing things. I wanted to kind of is there any more terminology though before we continue? Or I just want to make sure that I made that distinction before we moved forward.
I think you cover the basics. So we have the coins of the project, the NFT of a project, the wallet that is important to understand. Remember that many blockchain has different wallet and different NFTs, and sometimes you cannot switch between the wallets. For example, the XRP wallet is probably working only for XRP. MetaMask is working on different blockchain.
Hmm.
But on Cardano, you have another wallet just for NFTs on Cardano. On Solana, you have other wallet just for Solana NFTs. So yeah,
Yep.
wallet is something that you need to understand and knows where you are. For example, maybe just to finish the basics, what you should never do is send, let's say, ADA or Cardano or Solana whatsoever from an exchange to a minting page of NFTs. For example, it will not work. You will not receive the NFT on your Coinbase account, for example, and you lose the NFT. So
It's a
that
good point.
kind of stuff you have to be careful. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't. I guess it's same for XRP, but yeah, on Solana, Cardano, at least you should not use your coin on an exchange. You should first bring it to this wallet, specific wallet, and then you can buy NFTs.
Yep. And that's the Zum wallet for the XRP ledger. Okay.
Yes.
So, yeah, I haven't done that yet. Thankfully, what I have done though is back in the day with Ethereum, I guess this is kind of a rant, but I ended up sending Ethereum to the wrong kind of Ethereum address and ended up losing the Ethereum. And so
Yeah.
that was an eye-opening experience that I was like, "What?" But yeah, these things are getting better over time. Okay, so we covered that. Now, people that are getting into NFTs, I'm sure they want to know how do you know what NFTs are going to be valuable? There's Vivi, um, there's OpenSea, there's everything that's launching on the NFT marketplaces on the XRPL. Like, how do you know a good project? Like for me, I know gaming. Like I know generally speaking that like for an NFT might be valuable if it's in a certain game based on its looks, its attributes. But besides that, like just these pictures, like Bored Apes and all these big names out there, like what makes these things valuable? Like, can you talk a bit about that?
I think it's a bit part of magic, but it's a combination of different things. The first thing actually is if it was the first project on something. For example, CryptoPunk was one of the first project NFT project that it gained value because it was almost the first one. You have this on Solana, on Cardano. Originally, the OG project, as we call them, have a lot of value because just they were the first. So people
Mm-hmm.
put their money there at the beginning, and if the people who created the project kept the community alive and that kind of stuff. Usually, just being the first is already something good. It's just you are the first, so many people invest, and if it's a okay project, you make the community doing stuff. The project will be good on long term. That's easy and that's hard because you need to be one of the first. It's quite hard, but it's easy because you don't need to do an excellent project to be valuable, kind of.
Okay.
So for the XRP, if you are in one of the first NFT project on XRP, it can be something really good, I think. Speaking, it's a different kind of category. So you have the just art NFT. I would say you are a designer, like an illustrator whatsoever, or photographer, and you have a collection of art that you want to tokenize. This is one thing, and you will be successful if you are famous. Because if you are not famous, no one knows you. There's not a lot of chance that they find your art by scrolling on OpenSea. Of course, it can happen, but there's less chance. But if you are famous, people will buy your NFTs because they would buy your art anyway, probably. Then if you make the collection like the CryptoPunk or the Bored Ape, it's PFP, like profile picture, we call it. But yeah, people use it also as profile picture and it will be a topic by itself because soon you will be able to verify your NFT on Twitter, for example. And if your profile picture on Twitter is an NFT that's worth $100,000 and it shows that it's really yours and you bought it, it's kind of a social statue
Wow.
symbol, kind of. So this is something coming. But so the idea with this collection, usually it's like Pokemon cards, maybe, or not even Pokemon cards, because Pokemon cards, there is a game behind. Right?
Yeah, it's a
And
collector
this
though.
is not even a game. It's like a collection, like you have maybe a rare picture, less rare, and so on. There is a rarity, a lot of stuff around that, different trade to make different percent of rarities. And people wants to collect, wants to try to get a rare one because it will be more valuable than a common one. And so it's like if you drop every day like that, like rarity collection, and they are more good or less good. I mean, it depends of who create the project. But this is one of the core project mechanism, sorry, that you see nowadays. A lot of PFP collection. Sometimes they are good, sometimes not. Often they are not good. But that's
Sorry,
what you see most of the
PFP.
time. Yeah, PFP. And so the value is at the drop because you get a chance for the price of the mint to have maybe a rare one. So many people goes into the mint to get a chance to have a rare one at the beginning. After the value, depending of how people react to the project, if you manage to sell everything or not at the drop, or if it takes maybe 2 weeks to sell, for example, these are signals to say maybe it's a good project or at least there is money to make or not. So the project is released, people start to buy and sell, the price can change. And then you could see if it's going to be interesting or not, if people are really excited, if they really start to buy and sell, if there's a lot of transaction, it means that people are into the project and probably it goes up. up to a certain point. But it's really a bit hard to say. It's really like when you launch a new coin, for example, in crypto, it often goes like that, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes there's a peak and so on. So it's a bit similar with NFTs, and you can get graph for NFTs as well to try to understand.
Hmm. What tools
So
do you
yeah,
use
what
for
makes
that?
it depends of the blockchain. On Cardano, I have a tool called I think OpenSea NFT, and you can get graph on all the project and by days, week, and months, or from the beginning, and kind of chart like you would have for the crypto, like trade view, I think trade
TradeView?
view.
Okay.
Like trade
Well,
view, you can get graph for crypto and also for the stock exchange. But also similar, it's a graph, just it's based with the sales of the NFT, and you can see the trend and decide if it's good or not, for example.
I'll have to put some links in the description for that. If you mind sending me some stuff, it'd be cool.
Yeah, you have the same for ETH and other blockchains, so yeah, definitely. But yeah, what makes a good project? I would say the community, if people are excited, if it's real people, because you have a lot of scam where people pay Twitter influencer to bring a lot of numbers, but people are here, you have the numbers, but they are not interested by the project, for example. So you should check the Discord of any project to try to judge if people are excited by this project, for example, or not.
Okay.
You see at the mint if they sell fast or not at the mint. It can be a good indicator. Or if it's an NFT game project, then you have to dig into the white paper, the gameplay, what is it about, if it's a good investment or not. So it's really hard because many people are creating hype, often fake hype, but not always. So it's hard
Mm-hmm.
to see if it's a good project or not. So it's really about digging, yeah, research, Twitter, Discord, is it real people or not, what are they doing, if the developers are serious. The white paper is important, but not so much, I would say, recently, because it's kind of easy to write a cool white paper and not deliver after. Because most of the project, they promise many stuff, they sell, and they say, okay, if we sell everything, maybe we will develop something after,
Mm.
basically. Whereas before you were trying to make a prototype, something, and sell it, and so it was the other way around. So you had to do the effort first, and if people like it, well, you can develop it further. But now you say we might do this, buy our NFTs, and maybe we don't develop after, maybe yes. So it's a bit tricky, I would say. It's
Yeah.
really new. It's the far west, and lots of opportunities, but really need to learn by doing, I guess.
Yeah. Always do your own research, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, exactly.
and of course, just I'm gonna put the link down to Benjamin's channel. You can go check him out for more NFT conversations and knowledge. Hopefully, he'll be doing some NFT projects on the XRP ledger at some point. But you have your own projects, right? On Cardano and some others that you're doing. You want to talk about them real quick?
Yeah, so for the moment, I'm focusing on Cardano because I started on this blockchain, I think, 6 or 8 months ago, because I was getting frustrated on ETH and OpenSea with the gas fee and that kind of stuff. So I discovered Cardano. It was still early at that time, and I wanted to experiment, and the gas fee was super low. And yeah, I just started to get into Cardano. I think it was a good choice because Cardano it will be for a next video probably, but it's proof of stake, not proof of work. So it's kind of sustainable as a blockchain, at least more than ETH for the moment. So
Mm-hmm.
it was also an interesting aspect. And so I published some NFTs. I made a first collection of I think 70 NFTs that I could sell in 20 minutes. And I was like, wow, okay, maybe maybe there is something interesting. People like what I created, that kind of stuff. Then I made a second collection for Halloween that did more or less good, but I learned at that point the basic to create a community, like a Discord, and to try to engage people, that kind of things that are super important if you want to make an NFT project.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm working on a card game on Cardano. I started selling NFTs for my card game. I have a little team working with me, and we are trying to make a kind of card game, a bit like Hearthstone, Magic, on the Cardano blockchain. So we are working on this. We have a working prototype for the moment, and we will develop a real game using Unity a bit later on. And I'm also trying to think about a project, an NFT project that I might do more for people on LinkedIn or in our networks, like design thinkers, agile coach, or innovation people. And I'm trying to brainstorm about that with some people now. And it might be on ETH, maybe not. We will see.
Okay.
But so yeah, I have quite a lot of project going on into NFT land. Even maybe another project. with the winery and something like that. I cannot really say much more for the moment because it's a bit like secret and early. But yeah,
Okay.
many exciting project coming. So yeah.
That's really cool. It's a ton of stuff. Of course, would love to talk more about the Agile community stuff and how we can get them engaged. But yeah, so real quick, I wanted to go back and share my screen one more time. This
Yeah.
is the uh, Sologenic Dex, and so I wanted to go back out here. These are the NFTs for
Mm-hmm.
that are, I guess, currently being sold and stuff on the XRP ledger. And so again, what was really interesting me, I'll just go to this one here. You can set your trust line and try to do it that way. I've not purchased one on here yet. I didn't even think this was up yet because I know that it was on testnet and not. I didn't think the XLS20 D was out. So, but yeah, you can go to the Sologenic Dex if anyone's looking for NFTs. Some of these different projects, like Xcorgi, is going to have its own marketplace. Um, and yeah, so there's different opportunities there. But yeah, this is something that's really new to me. I know people on the XRP ledger might be more, what's the word, aware, but I know that there's going to be new people coming into the community trying to wonder, what's going on with it all. And wanted to show them this. And I've got two links that I can put in the description about NFTs for the XRP ledger and the if you want to look into more creating NFTs, there's the documentation there. But yeah, really appreciate you coming out, kind of giving us the gist of the I'll stop sharing real quick. Yeah, giving us the gist of the uh, NFTs, the lingo, and helping me understand more. Really, and of course, appreciate you walking me through how it's done on other blockchains as well. I'm trying to figure out, when and where and how to mint just for this other small project I've got going on, just for the sake of, saying we did it essentially. And, but yeah, really appreciate your time. And is there anything else you want to give shout outs or promote while you're here? Or
I just think I think for people who are watching, if they are watching soon, I would say really check this Dex where you can get NFTs. I think it's still testnet, right? You said it's
it's
not
I,
yet
I
on
think
mainnet.
so, but I mean I'm always trying to understand this side of the
Yeah.
space. That's why you're here. So
Yeah,
um,
I think as soon as it will be on main test on the XRP, you should try to get into it as fast as possible. Create a little project. No need to do something like 10,000 whatsoever if you start, but just try, experiment, and see. And maybe you will get signs. Some people are interested by what you created, and then you will get into it. Because the earlier you are, the more kind of free exposure you will get on your project. And so I think yeah, it would be a good place to go pretty soon, it seems. So I think
okay.
we have to set up our XRP wallet, go on these decks, and to do some preparatory work. But yeah, I think there's something to do definitely.
Okay, gotcha. Well, maybe we can have you back if you create a collection or if you get more insights. Would love to hear back from you in the future. But also, one of the things that popped into my mind is like the Twitter Spaces. Like the Twitter Spaces for these NFT projects are a great way to gauge how many people are actually interested. And but yeah, because I'm not sure there's a great way to fake that. So maybe there is, and I'm just not
No, no,
aware.
there's a ton of way to fake Twitter. Really, a lot. You would be surprised.
Okay.
But anyway, the rule for the NFT project so far is you need to check their Twitter and their Discord. It's the two main place. Like some people have Instagram, TikTok, whatsoever, but most of the good project, Twitter and Discord. And yeah, you need it's really like you have to try to judge how is the trustable the project, maybe,
Yeah.
if I can say like that, because maybe they have 10,000 followers but on their post there's just few likes, for example. That kind of stuff should ring a bell, because nowadays it's super easy to get followers a bit fake, a bit real. Of course you have tools to check on Twitter if it's fake or not fake followers, but um, as coming with the NFT, there's a lot of kind of scams or way to make money for some people that are not really nice, I would say. So you have fake influencers, NFT crypto influencers that would bring you traffic, but just for the giveaway, for example, they would not stay, they would just leave. So you have big numbers, but not people interested. You have many things like that. You can almost buy followers. Like it's not only NFT; it's an old thing, but it happens also. Same on Discord. Some people they create bots to join, so you can put a bot against the bot, but then people would create with other human real account, fake account to come, and there's really it's a really complicated world, I would say.
Okay.
But yeah, still on Twitter, if you do your own research once again and you try to see how people interact with the post of a project, you can get a sense of if it's kind of true or not true, I would say. But yeah,
Gotcha. Okay. So check engagement is what you're looking for. You're not
yeah,
just looking for
yeah,
followers or likes, or you're looking for the real true engagement and comments and the real understanding of the hype rather than just the numbers behind it. Because numbers can be faked, is what you're saying.
yeah, totally. I saw some project on ETH, for example. The Discord was like I don't know, 10,000 people, and the launch was just 500 NFTs, and in the end, they don't even sell out. So you're like, so maybe it's not real 10,000 people interested by the project, because otherwise they would have sell out in 5 seconds. If you have that much people for that many, that's not so many NFT. So yeah, you really need to make your own research and to check engagement, and that's why also you would jump into Discord and see in the channel if people are really interacting or not. People are doing contests like, if you want to be on my white list, you should post 3 times a day in my Discord. So there are real tricks to create even fake engagement. So you really need to read what people are writing, because maybe they're just posting to post to win something. So
Hmm.
it's a really a wild, wild place, but yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I really appreciate you coming on, and again, we'll have to have you back whenever we have some more time, and whenever you maybe you've created something or I've created something on the XRP ledger for NFTs. I can try to figure that out. Just not so. I'm too busy creating videos, guys. I don't have time for art. But yeah. Thank you so much, Benjamin. I'll. You want to talk a little bit about your channel? I totally forgot to. I kind
Well,
of
I could talk
introduced it
about my
for you.
channel, but as you mentioned, it's for the moment it's a channel in French. Of course, you can turn on subtitle, but it's in French for the moment. It's mainly on about Cardano. So if you're interested by Cardano NFTs, you should check it out. Yeah, but just have a look and can follow me on LinkedIn as well, because I start to speak more and more about NFTs in English this time, so it might be more interesting for you
Yep.
guys. And yeah, James, I think we should maybe try to make a little collection on XRP together, just to see what happens. Could be fun. Even maybe documenting the process for a future video. Yeah, something.
All right. Sounds good. I'm open to it. It might be a minute, but we will try to get it done. And yeah, thank you so much for your time, Benjamin.
Thanks, James.
All right. I'm
Take care.
JTXRP. This is Benjamin, and we're out.